feeling good.
Are you nervous?
Yes. I'm very, very nervous to do this with my brother. We haven't seen each other in a long time, and it's just feels weird to be here.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling anxious.
Why are you feeling anxious?
I don't know. It's just weird. I haven't talked to my sister in a while, so it's like, I don't know where her headspace is. So yeah, I'm just nervous.
What are you most nervous about?
I'm most nervous to talk about everything that happened between us.
What are you looking to get out of this experience?
For me and my brother to get back to the way we used to be. We were really close, could call each other for anything, and I just want to get back to that.
Where do you think things went wrong?
And honestly, I think when she got in a relationship, which sucks, but I think that was the main factor in us falling out. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
So we're gonna be honest and answer truthfully. We got 10 questions. We're each gonna pull one and then you just ask the other the question.
Okay.
You wanna go first?
Sure. Do you feel like we were treated differently growing up?
Growing up, no. I don't think that we were necessarily treated different. I think after I moved away, we were treated differently. How do you feel?
No, I don't think so. I know I feel like you always felt like since I was the baby that I got away with more stuff than you did.
I don't feel like you got away with more stuff. I just think that you were spoiled. But you always would say that you felt like mom spoiled me and that I was her favorite. So do you still feel like that?
A little.
How though?
Mom would say, "Tell her you need to call your brother." But she never, I never hear her say, "Well, I told your brother to call you." It's like she always put everything on me. "Well, you need to call your brother. You need to reach out to your brother."
Well, just so you know, she did tell me the same thing. So it wasn't just on you.
Okay.
Mom and dad both tried to play both sides to try to get us to communicate. So I definitely think that it was on both ends. So have you ever felt I judged you?
Yes. Whenever you found out that I wasn't a virgin anymore, I for sure know that I was probably judged because of how old I was, and that how I was in a bad relationship, I just wouldn't get out of it. And you know that we grew up way different than that. Our parents taught us different and better, I should say, better than that.
So the way that I went about sharing that you weren't a virgin anymore, how did that make you feel?
Oh, I was mad. Yeah, I was mad because I did not want to tell Dad like that.
What did I do?
You came to Lake Charles the next day and said, "You better tell Daddy or I'm gonna tell him."
Oh, that's terrible.
So
I'm sorry for that. I think that I was just a very protective brother, and I think that finding out the way that I did, I had your phone, your old phone, and I was gonna get it fixed. And when I unlocked it, I think I saw it. I think that is what triggered like in my head that you weren't like my little sister anymore. Like that affected me because it made me feel like part of the innocent version of you wasn't there anymore.
and like it was taken away from me.
Yeah, and I felt like even with your response, like you didn't really care, and so like I just feel like that was like the start of it, like the start of our relationship going the way it was. Go ahead.
Do you miss our relationship?
Yeah, I think everybody knows that you were like my little sister. So we're 5 years apart, and I think that as we got older, it was a situation where we were getting closer. I felt like we bonded a lot. I felt like you knew that you can call me for anything, and I felt like that changed whenever you started to grow up a little bit more and hang around different people. So it bothered me. What about you?
I miss our relationship too. I know that, like you said, I can always call on you for anything. And when I did get older, I started feeling myself, I guess, and thought, oh, I'm good. I can do whatever I want now. I'm getting older. So it's just like, I guess, being rebellious, kind of.
Is there anything that I have done to you that you have not forgiven me for?
I think the way that you went about how I had to tell Dad that I wasn't a virgin. But you apologized, and I'm not a... That's all I was really waiting for, so.
I think that it was tough for me. Like, I knew we were in a bad spot, but I felt like once we had, like I had the kids, I thought you were gonna be like more involved. And I think when you didn't come to their first birthday party, like that bothered me. and that like hurt my feelings because I felt like you were gonna be a good aunt, and I felt like that may have changed things because I know you and Dad didn't come to like my reception, and then it was just like, all right, well, I know they're gonna come to the kid's first birthday party, and I felt like that was just like a moment that was just like really tough for me. I just don't feel like it was like a good point in our relationship. So I just felt like I shut down at that point, and like really trying, that's one thing that I feel like it's really hard for me to let go.
And on that part, I was just, I guess, having other influences getting in my head. He act like this with you, or he done this to me. So I thought, well, since I'm in a relationship, I thought, you're supposed to respect your spouse, I guess. I kind of let him get in between our relationship. Sorry that I didn't come.
Thank you. Do we have tissue? Okay, your turn.
Does my sibling know how to communicate?
I feel it depends on what the situation is. I often wonder, like, did you feel it was a safe space to communicate? Did you feel like that you can come and talk about something and you wouldn't be judged, or you wouldn't have to feel like you were being attacked? And so like I often would share that with JARIUS, that I felt like, and he would tell me that, do you feel like even if something was wrong with your sister that she would come and tell you? And I think that just because of how everything happened, I think you probably didn't feel comfortable coming to talk to me. But I feel like when our relationship was fine, I think that we had good communication.
So, yes, everybody knows you know how to speak your mind and talk, say what you need to get off your chest. And I don't know if I would say envy, but I wish that I can do that, because certain things that happened in my relationship made me feel like I didn't have a voice to be able to talk. I don't feel like I know how to communicate with people at all. If I'm talking to somebody, I always start stuttering, not being able to finish my sentence, and I just be like, never mind, like, don't worry about it. I wish I could communicate with people as good as you can.
Well, thank you for that. I feel like that often gets me in trouble, but were you ever embarrassed of me?
I wouldn't say I was embarrassed of you. I would say, finding out the way that I did that you were with JARIUS, I was hurt more than embarrassed. I have people texting me saying, girl, have you seen this? And I was just like, wow, like this is how I found out. So I wasn't embarrassed. I would never be embarrassed of how you live your life.
I don't think that I was ever embarrassed of you, but I felt, I don't know, it wasn't anybody to be embarrassed, but I guess I was disappointed in just how things were handled, and how like your relationship, not just with me, but with everyone, kind of changed, and how that dynamic changed. And so I think it was just a situation where I just wanted different. Like I wanted different for you. I wanted you to find your way faster than what you did, and find out how to move on faster. They say you have to let people learn lessons on their own. Well, I felt like you were taking a long time to do that. So it was just really hard for me to sit back and watch. And so I felt like the only thing I could do was like distance myself, to not have to feel all of that.
Do you like having me as a sibling?
Well, I feel like I don't have a choice. I feel like you're my only sibling, and I feel like you were my little sister, like that was like annoying. And it's crazy because I see, even though Ashton and Aria are so much closer in age, it's just like I see that dynamic, and I see how she gets on his nerves, but she just always wants to be around him. And I feel like he'll appreciate it when he gets older, and it's only supposed to grow as kids. I feel like it's supposed to be that type of dynamic where it's like it's getting on your nerves, but I feel like as you get older, you appreciate having someone that has gone through life with you and kind of understands some of the things that other people may not understand, that you've gone through in your home life, and just things that other people never know. In short, yes, I like having you as a sibling. I feel like I wanted our relationship to be in a much better space, and me to be able to share things about being a parent with you and stuff like that. So like that's my hope, to be able to get that type of dynamic.
I love having you as a sibling, even though we had our differences. I always say, they be like, do you have a brother? I'm like, yes, I have a big brother, and he'll beat you up at any time. I'll be quick to tell anybody, don't mess with me, because I call my brother. I did always want to be around you and your friends, even though you were like, Taylor, get out. I loved having someone else there. I'm glad that I wasn't one of those people who had to grow up by it myself.
What are you most proud of about me?
I would say where you are in life right now, you have 2 beautiful kids, an amazing husband, a beautiful house. You have so much going for yourself with YouTube, all the brand deals. And it's like, I want to be there one day. So I'm very proud of everything you're doing.
I would say that I am proud of the steps that you're taking to find yourself and become an individual again. I think that that's not an easy process. I think that you're going to go through a lot of highs and lows of what you've been accustomed to these last 6 years. And, you know, you're going to have moments where you're going to contemplate, like, did you make the right decision and things like that. But I think being here and just seeing you make an effort and, you know, wanting to mend our relationship, I think that makes me the most proud to just see you becoming yourself again.
Thank you.
Last question.
Last question. Why did we not talk for 6 years?
That's the burning question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Funny how that one ended up being last.
I know, that's crazy.
I felt like you were in a situation that did not allow me to be a big brother. It didn't allow me to connect with you how I felt like we should have. And I think that that situation tore us apart because I felt like any older sibling would, or just any sibling in general, I always wanted the best for you. And I felt like you met this guy and I tried to be very supportive of you guys in the beginning. And I think it turned left, and I don't even remember the turning point, but I felt like it all just happened overnight. It was really rough for me to deal with, and then I just saw like how it affected you, the disrespect towards mom and dad and like our other family members, and I expected you to see it too and to be like, I'm not going for this, because I always felt like, you know, I would never let anybody do that to you. It was just a lot for me to take in because I didn't understand it. I didn't understand why you stayed. I didn't understand why what he did didn't bother you as much as it bothered everybody else. And I guess I was just looking for you to stand up and say like, this isn't okay. We didn't get that. It was just like watching like a train wreck, and it was like, there's nothing that you can do about it. And so again, whenever I get in situations where I feel like I don't have control over it or it's not changing, I distance myself, and I feel like I look for reasons to just make it okay. I feel like, okay, well, she doesn't care about how I feel, you know, she allows this to go on, so she's okay with us not having a relationship. And so like for 6 years, I just pretty much like just went with that. Like that was what I told myself when everybody asked about my sister. I would say, you know, me and my sister don't really have a relationship. I love her, but I can't be there for someone who has made someone else their everything. And so I feel like that's why we didn't talk, because I feel like I would just get more and more angry with you. I feel like I didn't know the right words to say, or if I did say anything, it would be hurtful. So I just distanced myself.
So for me, I think why we didn't talk was basically like, you know, what you said. It was like, again, having somebody in my ear saying, well, this is the truth. And it's like looking back on it, it like makes me so mad because like I really sat there and I had a relationship with you for 6 years behind one person. It's like, if you want to be with me, then you better not talk to your brother. And me just being like, oh, this is the only guy that ever really liked me, and I was young, and I was just like, you know, I want to stay with him, he makes me happy. But despite the things that he did, trying to overlook everything that he had done to my family, to me, it was just like, well, I guess, you know, since he's saying this and I want to be with him, I guess this is what I'm gonna have to do. Not really realizing what it was going to do to us. You know, over the years, it's like my heart just was just like getting okay with it. Well, not really my heart, I guess my mind, because I've always wanted to talk to you, but I was just, I guess I could say scared, because I knew it would probably start problems if somebody found out that I was talking to you. It was just like, what do? You either have to deal with this at home or deal with your brother. So I don't, you know, it was a bad decision for me to choose him over you, and I regret that a lot.
So how do you feel like our relationship is gonna be moving forward? Or what do you want it to be?
I want us to get back how we used to be, being able to call each other. Me just saying, you know, on a random day, hey, I'm about to, you know, get a ticket and come out there for a little while. And you do the, you know, you call me. I want to be more involved with your life, you know. I know we have all these people that's trying to look out for handouts, you know, because they see you doing so good. But I wanted to be there from the beginning, you know, to support you. I want to still support you, do whatever you want to do. You're going to have more kids. And,
oh, goodness.
You know, I'll be there, you know, better than what I did with Ashton and Aria. And I just want us to be close again.
I can do that. I can commit to that. And so I really appreciate you again, just for finding yourself. I'm extremely proud of you and the things that you've accomplished. I feel like I can see a change in you. And so I'm just like super excited to kind of see where it takes us, and definitely for you to be a part of the kids' lives more and just kind of watch them grow, for them to get on your nerves sometimes too, and you know, just for you to always know that I love you and I care about you.
I love you too.
Let me get a hug.
What was it that made you choose someone over family?
You know, when things were happening, the first person I did want to call was you because I knew you would be there for me.
It's my fault because maybe if I'd have left, you wouldn't have followed suit.
It was really hard for me to go through that alone